Have you ever just stared at a stock chart and wondered, how in the world do professional traders find those stocks that just explode out of nowhere? Well, today we are cracking open the exact system a multi-million-dollar trader uses to find stocks with home run potential every single morning. And look, this isn't about guesswork or getting lucky. This is a repeatable process, a filter, designed to cut through all the noise and get right to the action. Let's get into it. Okay, so picture this. The stock market is this huge ocean with over 8,000 different stocks swimming around. It is incredibly easy to feel totally lost. I mean, you could spend your entire day just searching and still end up with absolutely nothing. So the real question is, how do you pinpoint that one stock that's about to make a massive move? That's what we're here to figure out. All right, now this is the first trap that almost everyone falls into. We're all naturally drawn to the big, famous names we know, right? Like Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. But here's the thing. For day trading, those stocks are like slow-moving giants. So this system, it ignores them completely. Instead, we are going on a hunt for the smaller, unknown companies that are, for whatever reason, having an absolutely mind-blowing day. To find these hidden gems, we've got a super clear roadmap. First, we're going to talk about the day trader's dilemma. Then, we'll get into the main principle here, which is hunting for volatility. After that, I'm going to show you the exact 5-point scan that makes this all work. Then, we'll uncover the secret of supply versus demand. And finally, we'll see how to put this system to work in the real world. So first up, let's just talk about how big this challenge really is. It's not just about picking a stock, it's about finding the right kind of stock in a market where, let's be honest, most of them are pretty boring on any given day. It really is like looking for a needle in a haystack. And here's the hard truth. On any given day, a whopping 99% of stocks are just not good candidates for day trading. And why is that? It's simple. They don't move enough. They just kind of sit there. And for a day trader who makes money from price swings, that's what we call dead money. Your capital's tied up, but it's not doing anything for you. So you might be thinking, what are my options? Well, the two most common places people start are actually traps. You've got the huge stocks like Apple that might move maybe 0.5%. To make any real money on that, you need a ton of leverage, which is basically borrowed money. And that means taking on huge risk. Then, on the other end of the spectrum, you have penny stocks, which are like the Wild West, super unpredictable and often manipulated. This system finds a sweet spot right in the middle. So if 99% of stocks are off the table, what are we even looking for in that tiny 1%? Well, it all comes down to one single core idea that drives this entire strategy. Let's break that down. This quote right here, it nails it. It perfectly captures what a day trader really does. See, your job isn't to guess where a company will be in 10 years. Your job is to find stocks that are moving, like, right now. That's the hunting for volatility part. And you have to do it in a way that you can control your losses. And that is the managing risk part. So this is what it's all about. We are not looking for tiny little gains. The whole point of this system is to find stocks that can make these huge moves. 10, 20, even 50% in just a few hours or sometimes even a few minutes. These are the kinds of opportunities that can make a trader's whole week or month. Okay, theory is great, but how do we actually find these stocks? This is where it gets practical. This is the heart of the system, a really powerful 5-point scan that helps you cut through all that market noise and find the real opportunities. These 5 things right here are the pillars of the scan. You can think of each one as a filter. They take thousands and thousands of stocks and narrow them down to just a handful of the best potential candidates. Let's break down each one. All right, first and most important, we only look at stocks that are already winning big for the day. We are not trying to be fortune tellers here. We're just riding a wave of momentum that already exists. These stocks are already up the most, so they're on everyone's radar, which creates this kind of powerful snowball effect as more and more traders start paying attention. Next up is price. We're looking for stocks that are generally between $1 and $20, but that $5 to $10 range, that's the absolute sweet spot. And why is that? Well, it's all about percentages. Think about it. It's a lot easier for a $5 stock to double to $10 than it is for a $50 stock to double to $100. Plus, this price range is affordable for almost anyone, which means more buyers can jump in. Our third filter is the why. What's the story? What's the news that's causing this big move? We're looking for news that creates excitement and keeps people guessing, like amazing earnings or a new FDA approval. Those are stories that can keep a stock moving for days. What we want to avoid are things like buyouts or mergers, because once a buyout price is announced, the stock's price is basically fixed. The big move is over. Now, this next one is absolutely critical. Relative volume. It answers a very simple question. Is this stock way busier than usual today? We're not just looking for high volume in general, we're looking for volume that is abnormally high for that specific stock. This is our big signal that something special is happening and a lot of eyes are on it. So how high is abnormally high? Well, the rule of thumb here is we are looking for stocks that are trading at least 5 times their normal average daily volume. If it's anything less than that, the interest just isn't strong enough to fuel the kind of explosive move we're looking for. And finally, our fifth filter gets us to the idea of supply. The float is really just a fancy word for the number of shares that are actually out there for you and me to buy and sell. A low float is so important because it means the supply of shares is limited, it's scarce. The specific number we're looking for is a float under 20 million shares. Sometimes, if the market's a bit slow, we might even tighten that down to under 10 million. Just think about it in simple terms. When there's a small supply of something that everybody suddenly wants, the price has to go up. And that leads us to the secret ingredient behind this entire system. Okay, now it's time to connect all the dots. These 5 filters, they're not just some random checklist. No, they are designed very specifically to find stocks that are caught in the middle of a perfect storm, a battle between supply and demand. So just think about it for a second. The first 4 things we look for are all about creating massive, massive demand. Being a top gainer creates hype. The big news story gives everyone a reason to buy. The high relative volume proves that people are flooding in, and the affordable price opens the door for everyone to get involved. It's all just buy, buy, buy pressure. And while all of that insane buying pressure is building up, what's our 5th rule doing? The low float. It's squeezing the supply. There are just not enough shares to go around for all the new people who want to buy them. And this is the magic formula. It's the core logic of the entire system. When you combine that intense, growing demand with a super tight, limited supply, you get the potential for a truly explosive move. This isn't some trading secret, it's basic economics, just on steroids. Okay, so we've got the 5 filters. We get the supply and demand logic. But what does this actually look like on a real trading day? Let's walk through the morning routine of a trader using this system. The day starts early. The scans are running way before the sun is even up. Looking for stocks that are gapping up, meaning they're already set to open way higher than they closed yesterday. That pre-market time is all about building a watch list. But the real action is in the golden hour, that first 90 minutes after the market opens. That's when volume and volatility are at their absolute peak. After about 11 a.m., the big moves have often already happened, and it's time to be patient. So here's the bottom line. The 5-point scan is an incredibly powerful tool for finding stocks that have explosive potential. It's designed to put the laws of supply and demand right in your corner. But finding the right stock, that's only half the battle. The real question is, once you've found it, do you have the discipline to actually trade your plan? Or will you let fear and greed take over? Because ultimately, that's the difference between a winning trader and everyone else.